So today, it is now 5 days out from my 27th birthday, and this year has absolutely sucked so much. But sucked in the way that good things are on its way, and I had to do a lot of uncomfortable things this year. And I want you guys to be a part of that, and we can kind of grow together on this. So number one, get uncomfortable. As you guys know, this past month I actually just recognized that this year sucked. So I was just like, how do I maximize on this year of sucking with as much suck as possible? That is a lot of use of the word suck. So, get uncomfortable. Think about situations where you were tested with the pain or pleasure mentality. Like, do we want to engage in the pain of doing something right now or the pleasure of putting it off? And I decided this month, Mama, be bold in those moments and choose to just indulge in it. And what I realized when I started doing that was where I started finding the most success. And I know the stupid quotes about like success relies outside your comfort zone, and I hate phrases like that. But they're so true and they start to make sense. But the main principle behind that is get uncomfortable. And get uncomfortable by doing the work. So that's number two, is just do it. I think I spent a lot of time thinking and planning, and I'm definitely like a list maker. I have way too many lists on my phone, and I'm trying to cut that back. And so some things I implemented to actually counter that was the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins, like in the moment of anything, you have 5 seconds to decide and count backwards before your mind literally decides for itself that it's not going to do it anymore. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, get out of bed. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make that jump. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, make that sales call. And because I have been making those bolder moves in those moments, I've seen so much more success. Now, I have become more rational, and I think as women, we need to be more aware. So that's number 3, is practicing self-awareness. And the self-awareness where we're actually like, okay, is it my ego that's driving my decisions? Or is it me and something I actually care about? And so I started being more aware of what I actually wanted, and then making decisions based on that rationally. And I think what we think of self-awareness is usually we're not actually very self-aware as humans. So what we should be doing is asking people, yes, what are your opinions? You know, how do you think this is going? And I learned to kind of filter through the right opinions from people that are actually doing work and have seen results, and from people that just have negativity in their lives. And I think we need to be able to sort through that, and that is a level of self-awareness, of being aware of what to do. Then number 4 comes self-management. Once we're aware, what do we choose to do? That's where things like the 5-second rule and getting uncomfortable matter. And I think that's the thing I have excelled at the most, is I'm a freaking hard worker. I have failed over 200 times, almost 5 times a day is almost like a regular. But number 5 is just being resilient and being able to pivot. The 2 biggest things in life from fitness that's transferable is speed and agility. So speed, incorporating like how quickly can we actually make decisions that are smart, and then agility, meaning how quick can we move when a decision is wrong, and being resilient. And then another fitness term, which is endurance. How long are we in the game? And I've definitely been working on my personal endurance because I've been really lost this year. But endurance is, no matter how lost we are, we're always still working. And backlight, skin them. So the fact that we still work. There you go. Here, got it. And so having that endurance to just get back up and keep going. And I'm still working on my physical endurance. But that's number 5 or 6, I don't know what number I'm on. Which is fitness is just so important to have in our lives. It's not a matter of just looking good. And I have lied to myself. I definitely told myself that I was training because of the mindset. And, you know, to an extent, sometimes I would have those sprints where I would feel good and I was training because, you know, it was helping me with work. But then I would have sprints or just like recovery times where I was just like lost. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I wasn't following a program. And as millennials, we definitely are the kind of people that want structure in a sense with the flexibility of still doing what we want. And I think that's what training programs help us do. Whether it's having a coach or following a guide, I was kind of just like complacent. I was doing what I knew worked, programs that have worked for me in the past instead of adventuring out. But I always knew what I wanted. And that's the thing with that scope outside the comfort zone. You know what you want. You know what you should have. But it's inching out there. And, you know, I made an excuse with athletic style training. I was like, there's no program out there. Like, I can't make time for this. I'm going to get hurt. I don't have insurance. Then I was just like, Mama, shut up. Just do it. And I found it. And I'm using the Volt app right now. It's been awesome. Only been a day, but I really, really like it. And I realized I became addicted to that athlete mindset because they have that speed, agility, and endurance mindset. That's the strongest thing we can have. Other lessons I learned this year. As much as we lie to ourselves and say that we don't care what people think, I think most of us do. And I think we should. But acknowledging what advice is things we can actually implement and who we're taking advice from. So I just started to realize, Mama, you're letting people dictate what decisions you're making and being hesitant when you know you can do the work. And I think that self-doubt is probably one of the biggest things that's kept me behind and complacent this year, is that doubt in taking myself to the next level. I thought people wouldn't want my services, that my price points were too high, or I didn't deserve it. I feel like I need to move. But I did. Sorry. But I did deserve it. And I do deserve it. Whether it's a man, business, or success, we determine what that looks like. And it starts with assessing what our values are. And I finally stopped lying to myself, stopped saying I was too busy, stopped using busy as an excuse. And then I was like, just do it. And that's why that uncomfortable challenge was probably one of the greatest tests for me at the end of this year. And I'm definitely looking forward to carrying it on because now it is definitely a trained habit. So I hope you guys will engage in that with me. But 27's got a good year for me. I mean, I'm starting it with this. So I think we're solid. Bye, guys. Yeah.